One mistake. One headline. One night that changed everything. An MCU star gets a verdict and the studio walks away. A sitcom comeback breaks ratings, then gets erased in hours. And a TV star scandal becomes so big, it swallows the career. Tonight, we're breaking down the Hollywood careers that vanished almost instantly. And if you like fast, factual timelines with the key moments in order, hit subscribe now because this is what we do here. Quick note, we'll stick to publicly reported events, court outcomes where they exist, and will clearly separate allegations from proven facts. Number 9. Armie Hammer. When texts become a career. Earthquake. Armie Hammer had momentum. Prestige films, leading man energy, the kind of trajectory Hollywood loves. Then, leaked messages and serious abuse allegations hit the internet, and the industry reaction looked immediate. Projects shifted, roles disappeared, and the conversation stopped being about acting and became about risk. And here's the scary part. In Hollywood, consequences don't wait for closure. Studios move at the speed of headlines, not the speed of courtrooms. Important nuance. Not every allegation becomes a charge, and not every charge becomes a conviction. But the overnight effect still happens, because public perception changes first. As you're watching, drop a comment with the number that shocked you most, because number 3 and number 1 are brutal. Number 8. Allison Mack. When a second life destroys the first. Allison Mack had a steady TV career and a recognizable face. Then her name became tied to NXIVM, an organization that prosecutors said operated a secretive inner circle built on coercion and control. This one didn't unravel slowly, it snapped. Because once the headline becomes bigger than the credits, your career doesn't. It gets overwritten. Mack pleaded guilty in federal court and served prison time. And after that, the public doesn't see a performer first. They see the story. Number 7. Jussie Smollett. When the story becomes the brand. Jussie Smollett's case became global news almost instantly. Then the story took a hard turn, and the career impact hit fast. Even when legal outcomes shift later, entertainment doesn't run on eventually clarified. It runs on what millions of people believed in the moment. Studios don't just worry about guilt or innocence. They worry about volatility, whether every interview becomes a trial, whether every premiere becomes a debate. And when a story becomes bigger than the person, Hollywood often chooses distance, immediately. Number 6. Kevin Spacey. When allegations hit, Hollywood hits eject. Kevin Spacey's fall is one of the clearest examples of Hollywood's crisis reflex. Once allegations of sexual misconduct went public, projects cut ties fast. Because studios aren't only managing art, they're managing investors, co-stars, press tours, and brand safety. Years later, courts can deliver mixed outcomes, but Hollywood's biggest decision usually happens at the moment of maximum heat. Do we keep the face or protect the product? And most of the time, the product wins. If you're getting value out of these timelines, hit like. It tells YouTube to show this to more people. And if you know someone who loves Hollywood deep dives, share it with them. This topic always sparks a debate. Number 5. Shia LaBeouf. When the pattern becomes the headline. Shia LaBeouf is a different kind of overnight story because it's not one scandal, it's the accumulation. Public incidents, arrests, controversy, and legal disputes. Over time, the pattern becomes the headline. And once the industry sees unpredictable, the offers change. Not because talent disappears, but because reliability becomes the real currency. In Hollywood, they don't just hire acting, they hire stability, schedules, insurance, and a press tour that won't explode. Number 4. Mel Gibson. When a headline changes your career's gravity. Mel Gibson's career crash shows how one incident can permanently change your weight in Hollywood. When controversies become symbolic, it stops being about one event. It becomes about what your name represents to an audience and to a studio. A bad movie can be forgotten, but a scandal that becomes a cultural flashpoint? That follows the project into every interview, every premiere, every review. The result isn't always no work. It's a different orbit, smaller, riskier, harder to escape. Number 3 in our list is when the set can't trust you, it recasts you. Charlie Sheen's fall felt like it happened in real time. At his peak, he was the face of one of TV's biggest shows. Then the meltdown era hit. Chaotic interviews, rehab headlines, open war with the people running the show, and eventually he was fired. Later, Sheen publicly disclosed he is HIV positive, which became another massive headline moment. But the overnight lesson here is simple. TV is a factory, a schedule, a machine, and when the machine can't predict you, it replaces you. Not because it's personal, because it's payroll. Number 2, Roseanne Barr, the fastest fall. Hours, not months. If you want the purest example of overnight, it's Roseanne Barr. The revival was a massive hit. Ratings, attention, a comeback that looked locked in. Then came racist tweets, and the network canceled the show rapidly. That speed tells you everything about modern Hollywood. Networks don't just protect audiences, they protect advertisers, affiliates, and the brand. When backlash hits hard enough, the question isn't, can we wait and see? It's, how fast can we cut the rope? Finally, the number 1 in our list is Jonathan Majors. The MCU future ended in a verdict. Jonathan Majors looked positioned as the face of Marvel's next era, the big villain, the long-term plan. Then came a criminal case, and after a guilty verdict on misdemeanor charges, the studio moved quickly and dropped him from future projects. This is the modern franchise equation. When a brand is worth billions, it cannot be anchored to uncertainty. It cannot be anchored to controversy. And it definitely cannot be anchored to a criminal conviction. So the machine does what the machine does. It protects the brand and it keeps moving. These stories aren't just celebrity drama. They're proof that fame is a contract with the public, and that contract can be canceled overnight. If you want part 2, subscribe because I'll do another episode with even more overnight collapses, plus the hidden behind-the-scenes mechanics, insurance, PR clauses, and why studios panic when a headline hits. And before you go, comment the one you think was the fastest fall. I'm pinning the most interesting takes.